if you guys were serial killers, what would your trophy be?
Do I have to take a trophy because it's
you
so
have to?
fucking...
It's part of being a serial killer.
There are rules to this, Kyle.
There really are. Like they all take some form of trophy that none of them don't. At least all the famous ones.
Here's what I do.
Okay.
I take their contact lenses. I take what? No, I can't do that.
See, the thing, you don't know this about contacts. They will just disintegrate on their own. Like they won't be a trophy for long. When I took my contacts out earlier,
how about this?
How about this? I just threw it in my bathroom. So
how about I only kill people who have prosthetic limbs, and I keep those limbs. And as the cops start putting it together, and they're like, he's only missing an arm. Like he's missing a left arm, and they're worried about what I'm building, which is silly because I'm just piling them up. And
I'm just piling you building. We got some strong suspicions about this farmer who all his scarecrows are very expensive.
Is he?
And they're just
not much of a Frankenstein. This guy's got 2 left feet.
All the fucking residents of Baltimore with one, a prosthetic left arm, or like terrified at night. But that's when I pivot to sexy college chicks and just leave all that behind.
Yours would be tough because that's almost hard mode serial killing because very, very quickly they're going to be like, look for people with missing limbs because he clearly likes that.
Second graders have that pattern recognition.
Yeah, that'd be hard mode. And it's
I have all my limbs.
No. We're saying that we're like, it's going to be tough because by the time your second victim gets announced, everyone with a prosthetic limb staying inside or being a hyper vigilant, getting armed.
Oh, they won't be out running around like normal, huh?
Like if you're,
I'm gonna wait outside the VFW for like my first one. I'm outside the VFW waiting on one of those poor rat guys to come out, all disappointed with his service, taking him out right away. But hey, buddy, it went poorly in there, huh? Yeah, free college wasn't worth it, was it? You want to go get a drink with me? Next thing you know, gone. Right? Now I got a right arm.
So you're hunting people already in a terrible spot in life.
Then the next one, I'm gonna look for one of those Japanese chicks who has like a really expensive like left leg, the ones that can sense warmth and cold.
Specific.
I want some very. I mean, look, you asked for this.
Yeah, I'm interested. I feel like you're getting so specific. You're like a serial killer who doesn't want to commit. We're like, yeah, I love killing. I'm going to start as soon as I find a coven of footless women. Like,
there's places you could go. Like I said, the VFW I feel like would be a great place. It's low hanging fruit to say IHOP. Where else would you go to find people with artificial limbs?
I
will say this: it's cheating.
Paralympics.
So you're right because they're all there up here. Just everywhere else is a. You
show up on the wrong day. You see like a bunch of Down syndrome guys lining up for the 100-meter dash, and you're like, "Fuck!" I have to wait till next year for mine.
Then I got to pivot, start taking those little fuckers out.
No, the thing about serial killers is I don't feel like I feel like most of them have an MO, right? They wouldn't like if Jeffrey Dahmer couldn't find a gay guy to kill. He wasn't suddenly like, I just got to kill someone then. Yeah. He was like, no, I'm doubly wanting to kill. I find it
interesting that they so rarely go outside their own race. That black folks kill black folks and white folks kill white folks primarily. Now, Jeffrey Dahmer's clear outlier there, but part of his thing was a sexual proclivity and he liked those.
Yeah. And it's I think
he's just looking for different flavors.
Based. Like, yeah, just where the serial killers probably tend to kill people who they're closest to.
No. Well, I mean, that might be true, but I think that like serial killers in general like stay within their race. I think that's like a known thing.
Yeah,
it's very rare for.
That's what I mean though. It's like if there's a serial killer in downtown Baltimore, like it's black people there. So like
it's a lot more racially diverse there. But I was reading something the other day that at some point it was like 92% black in Baltimore. Like holy shit, how's that possible?
It's a lot.
Maybe the 80s.
High percentage.
Jesus fuck Christ.
There's a reality TV show called Tanked, right? And it's about this company that puts in fish tanks. Jackie got to watching it. She watched all of it, and there is so much fucking content. There are fewer episodes of Friends than there are of Tanked. This thing was on for the longest time, and it is all the worst of the worst reality show tropes. The big thing that irritates me are like the voiceover of urgency and the false urgency. Like the voice, like, oh my god, they're trying to tell you, like, I hope these 2 pieces of acrylic are watertight. Like, don't you do this? Isn't this your fucking thing? Why are you hoping and praying that this holds water? This is your whole gig.
Yeah.
I think
they put these like, I'm sorry, Kyle. The big thing that the whole show seems to revolve around is like, you know, we only have 2 weeks to get this done. Or what? This is a running restaurant that's 13 years old. What happens if you take 2.5 weeks to put your tank in? Then what? What? Nothing. Fucking nothing. Yeah. There's no reason you're all stressing and screaming at each other and families squabbling and this and that. And then, you know, there are the conversations that like the 2 leaders have with each other. You know, are we going to get it down in time? You better fucking hurry up. You better let a fire under this guy. And there's jump cuts for every guy's talk. So there's clearly 2 cameras, like big ones sitting on some guy's shoulder or tripods as they film this conversation, which just makes it so inauthentic to me. I can hardly tolerate it. And then the last bit is a bit of fish nerdery where it's like, what? Like they just put water in that and now they're putting like 397 inches of fish. It's not cycled. They're all about to die. They're all about to die. There's no filtration. It takes a little while for this thing to get established. Like I have a new tank coming. And because of that new tank, I have to like cycle these new rocks. It's in a tub right now. It's been in a tub for 37 days so far. And it'll be months old by the time I start this tank because that's what it actually takes.
Yeah, I've heard that it's like the Pimp My Ride, but with fish tanks. So that they're making things that are just for the 22-minute episode or whatever. Like that's all any of this matters for. And we've seen the vehicles from Pimp My Ride like afterwards, how they just fall apart, shit's glued on. But there's fish that die though, so I kind of feel bad, I guess. I would like to see here's what I would like to see if I was going to do an episode of that show. I want to see an extreme lobster tank. I want a fish restaurant with like the most like badass lobster tank ever. I might care about that, but otherwise you have to be it's a real niche audience, I would think, that cares about fish tankery.
This is news. I'm back on all the dating apps now. I am officially divorced. So there you go. That's true news? That's true news. Yeah.
Well, welcome to the dating world. I wish you the best of luck.
Yeah. I happened like 7 months ago or so now. Basically, she cheated on me and then confessed it to me. So I told her I didn't want her in my house and kicked her out. And then I immediately filed for divorce. And so it was quite the process.
Wow. How'd that work financially?
Well,
it's so short.
As you would guess, it was a rinky-dink Mickey Mouse divorce, like considering like you're only married for like a bit over a year, didn't have kids, like none of that stuff. So, yeah, it was, as far as divorces go, pretty easy, to get through. And even though like there was nothing my ex said throughout the process or that my attorney told me throughout the process that made me think it was going to be some like financially ruinous thing. Cause like logically I knew that, but like, damn, the amount of time, like over that period, I just spent like in my own head, like just these financial worries that like I'd in my own head be like, stop like being so worried your whole life's going to come crumbling down. It's not, you're fine. And then it'd be like, you can't stop thinking about that. Well, what if this happens? What if this is my financial future? What if this and that? And that is enormously stressful. So that was not fun. Being single again is awesome. It's genuinely, I'm really enjoying life more
Lord
now
Satan
than I
comes
was.
through again.
I cannot believe that I'm such a fucking idiot that
when I called down to the dark man and I asked, You know how many cats I've had to fucking kill over the last year and a half?
Oh my god, dude.
There's so much cat blood on my hands. Satan was thirsting, but he sent that demon.
I was hoping the rest of his sentence was, I cannot believe the wisdom Kyle had all along.
That's literally, I needed, I'm such a midwit retard. I had to get divorced to realize that Kyle and Dick, my high IQ friends, they were trying to guide me down that road. They tried to guide me down that road, and in my arrogance, in my pride, I ignored them. I didn't take their advice. So this is a true prodigal son story. Really, is that I'm back. I'm
like
back.
Iron Man 1.
This is Iron Man 1. I'm back.
You're coming out of that Afghani cave.
I'm coming out of the Afghani cave. I'm back in the mix. You know what? The thumbnail should be me after crawling through like Andy Dufresne, and I'm back. I'm out. Out.
Taylor looking up at that lightning-filled sky.
I can't stop putting together Taylor's like body transformation and dating app reappearance. Like I think these are related.
It's absolutely related. Yeah. 100%. So we separated in like mid-October to give people the time frame. Like it's been quite a while since we separated. We've been actually officially divorced for a few months now. So like I've been dating again and whatnot. I need to get Hinge and Bumble. I only have Tinder, but I've never actually used a Bumble account. I need to
Bumble's
check that out.
Bumble's
it sounds like Bumble's too much of a commitment. Are you sure you want to see a woman twice?
We'll see. We'll see where we're at. But
I like Hinge a lot. I like Bumble a lot. And Hinge, like I said, I think I met 2 girls on Hinge ever. But I liked those girls in particular, I guess. Tinder, you meet some crazies on there too.
Do you still talk to them, the Hinge girls?
Not so much. I have never told a girl I don't want to talk to her anymore. If you end up in a relationship where it's not appropriate to talk to me, then I'll just notice that you haven't messaged me in 3 years and respect that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have any reason to be like, never contact me again. Like, why would I do that? So that's
I've always liked your attitude towards this, and it's a little bit like, hey, I do the groundwork, and we get to know each other, and we find out that we're a match. And girls worry, oh, now he's not going to want to talk to me after tonight. No, that was great. I absolutely want to talk to you. Not necessarily move in, not necessarily talk to you all the time, but what we did tonight, I would love to run this back in 4 days. And I was like, yeah, that's genius. Why do you want to start from scratch with the next one?
I've never quite understood that. Like I've always been of the mind, and I've always been real open about it. Like, hey, they'd be like, oh, you're not going to call me back, are you? I'm like, well, no, I'm not. I'm 35, not 65. I'm not going to call anybody, but I'm going to text you like
a call
the next time I'm horny. Like, and I'm going to be like
which
polite
is about
in between.
4 hours from now.
Yeah, probably a week ago or a week later or whatever. But no, I've just never understood why you'd want to like fuck a girl and then like block her or something like that. Like she would have to be so shitty, like such a sketchy person that you were like worried about your safety, or like she was gonna like she's doing drugs, or like she's an alcoholic, she's like crazy shit, like an actual unstable, dangerous person that you don't feel safe around before I'm going to like block you. But if it's just a sweet girl that we had sex, I've never understood blocking, and like I thought it was just in the movies, but then I hear about people doing it. I see women online on Reddit being like, yeah, we had sex and thought everything went well, and then it blocked on all social media and this, that, and the other. And I'm thinking like, what kind of style is this? You only want to fuck her once?
I've never done that.
What's a typical gap between like the pictures in a Tinder profile and the real life?
It can be enormous.
Oh,
there can be a drastic difference between the way someone is presented, and sometimes like it can be like, oh, that's you 40 pounds ago. Like, well, there is stuff like that.
I get current like live photos usually, like, and you
don't know if they're live on. Once you're chatting with them,
yeah, we can like if we're on Snapchat, and like it doesn't have to be like XXX either. Like if if she's at the pool or like I'm on the treadmill or something like that, like just kind of showing that we have torsos is a good idea at some point, because you know, it's a good idea to know that exists. I've told that story a bunch of times about meeting that girl off of my Facebook like fan site and oh my God, so big. It's twice that happened.
In hindsight, though, would the current wiser Kyle not fall for that, or was it impossible to avoid?
Oh, like what it was wishful thinking. It was me, like
that'll get you. Yeah,
my brain was filling in gaps and like making excuses for why things looked the way they did, and like whatever it could do to like make this okay. The questioning side of my brain was shoved down in a corner somewhere and told to shut the fuck up. God damn it. Whose team are you on?
But when you did what needed to be done. Yeah.
Well, it's happened twice, but one time I looked out the hotel window and like she's there. She's at my hotel. This is right. This was when, Woody, for time frame, you were leaving Cisco. Like I think you had called me that day and we were talking about that. Like you were gonna move. It was like imminent that it was gonna happen for real. And after I got off the phone with you, I was like on the phone with her, looking out my window. I'm on 3rd or 4th floor, and I saw. She's like, I'm in the red dress, and I'm like, holy shit, you like Pac-Man, like she
red dress.
She was so big and round.
I see a tent. No.
But yeah.
Did Coleman make that dress?
Like there was no way to back out, so I let her go down on me, and then I pretended like I like prematurely ejaculated, but really I was just only wanted a blowjob. And I was like, oh no, what happened? I was like, you know what?
This is my first.
I was like,
you like pull it out of your mouth and you're like, oh no, and you're like still cranking your dick. I'm
not gonna stop. What, I want to ruin?
Oh fuck, another 4 minutes of this, and you gotta leave.
So like, I think I like apologized and maybe said like, well, we'll go to dinner. You know, in like 3 or 4 hours. But I'm gonna get a nap, take a shower, etc. I need to. I always make up work that I have to do. You know, because women believe that. I got all that work. Meanwhile, like I was there to. I might have been there to buy that boat. I was there for fun. And as soon as she left, I went to blocking her everywhere, man. I'll admit, like that, because. And then she messaged me back on like the last remaining way she had, whatever it was. She was like, what the fuck, you know, what happened? And I just wrote back, you know why. And then I blocked her there too, because she was so big, dude. She was so big. And it was just, and then another time I was in Texas.
Could you go canoeing with her?
Do you almost expect like 15 pounds of lie, 10 pounds of lie?
No. Well, all right. Okay. Sometimes, a lot of the times the girl is like clearly like, she's never going to be fat, right? Like so just, lots of chicks are just
because of the heroin.
I don't, and again, like at this point, like, and really after these 2 instances that happened, I always make sure that I see what all of you looks like. And again, I'm not talking about XXX, but like I'll see you in a fucking shirt and some jeans at some point, your whole goddamn body. But there was that time in Texas when she pulled up in that Cube. I don't know who makes the Cube, but it's that maybe Nissan.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, Nissan.
Is it Honda?
Yeah,
Nissan.
She pulled up in a Cube, and I had been talking big shit. You know, I'm like, oh yeah, let's go to Morton's. You know, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna go here and do this and that, and then we'll go back to the bar at my hotel, and then we go up. Like, I got this kind of room and that kind of room. I'm talking all this shit, and all right, she pulled up in a normal one, right? It was like gray.
Yeah.
But she pulled up in one of these, and I don't give a shit. It's a chick's car. I sat down in that bitch, and she had it in drive so fast and was away with me that by the time I was buckled up and noticed how big she was, we were gone. And I mean, she was
tactical on her part.
She was too big. And in my head, I'm thinking about how much money I've promised to spend tonight on this big bitch. And I'm thinking like, no, I can't even afford to take her to Morton's. She's going to eat a whole goddamn, she's going to get that whole seafood tower herself or something, $180 worth of chilled crab. No. So I'm sweating trying to figure out how to get out of this. My heart's beating.
Are you sweating or are you just catching some in the air?
and I mean,
it just shouldn't go just past.
She's way too big. And I call my buddy and I text him like, get me out of this. Call me. Calls me up and I'm doing a whole fakery on my end that doesn't even involve him. I just needed the phone to ring.
Sure.
So he's going, got you a big one, huh? I'm like, fuck. And I'm over here like, oh, all the footage got deleted? No. What do you mean? Well, how would we film tonight? It's nighttime. Oh, they've got stadium lights and a generator. Whose fault is this? They're fired. But I'm on this date with this lovely lady here.
Can I bring her with me? Is there a pen she could play in?
I go through all of this fakery on my end, and then I go click, and I'm like, I kind of believe it. And I tell a bunch of lies about how I've just got to get back to work. Got all this work to do.
Yeah.
And I just have her turn around and take me back. And then I had sex with a prostitute instead, who was
nice. Who was not fat.
Much thinner, but that was the one who was on her period, though, it turned out, and bled all over me in the room. Yeah. So it was quite a night.
The content you got from that night.
What an
Taylor,
awful
did you
evening.
have any clue that she was being unfaithful? Did you said she confessed it? Is that when you first learned, or? Yeah,
it was like the night before. Like she was out somewhere and I wasn't there, and she came back the next morning and confessed it to me.
So,
and yeah,
you were surprised by the confession, or?
I mean, I'll leave it at this. Like she and I were not happy in that marriage. And so it is, I believe 100% for the best that it is over.
The dogs, huh?
They are her dogs. Yeah. That was a discussion. That was a discussion early on because Teddy was literally a gift for her. Like that
makes sense.
It's cut and dry. And then Fozzie,
they're like a bonded pair.
Yeah, they're a bonded pair. And Fozzie was literally bought by her mom because she was going to get a dog at the same time we got Teddy. And then we ended up keeping both because Teddy was so fucking neurotic that he couldn't like handle reality without having another dog there.
Oh yeah. My dog has extreme separation anxiety and I did it to him and there's no fixing it, but it's fine. I guess I wanted a lap dog. He cannot be without me at all. We have to be together continuously. Right now, he's outside that door waiting. He's outside that door right now.
He loves you.
He loves me. Toby, the one I've raised from a puppy, like across.
He's the brown and sort of Chewbacca looking.
Yeah. He's a Bernie Doodle, and he's just the cutest motherfucker. He has very expressive eyes, which it's like a gorilla. Like he looks like he's thinking about shit over there.
He does.
Like, looking around.
You've sent pictures before, and he has human eyes.
It's like he has the whites of his eyes are very pronounced, and like you can see what he's looking at and where he's looking. And he watches. I've never had a dog that would watch TV. I've seen them on the internet. He watches TV all the time. Anything that's high enough frame rate that dogs can pick it up.
Does he show higher interest when animals?
Big time. He likes.
I think that's so cool.
Well, he also likes anything with like action. Like if there's two men fighting, he'll watch that. And if there's like an animation of like things bumping around, like Star Trek when the ships are shooting and like flying around and twisting, he's like, oh, look at that. But if I turn on Animal Planet, he'll watch those fucking animals like do their thing and like, it's like, yeah, all right, I'm following along. Like I've been watching this. I think it's called Otter Empire. It's something like that. It's part of what
otters are very cool animals.
Otter Dynasty or some shit like that. I only watched like a little bit of it because the dog was liking it.
Stupid name,
dude. Well, I don't know. There's multiple episodes. It's on Max. It came over with Discovery shit. If you see it on there, it's got some cute otter. I watched like a few minutes of it, and it starts off with like a British voiceover, and she's like, "This is Empress Jezebel. She leads over all the watery ways here in this easterly corner of Nottingham. When she took power 3 years ago, she made certain to kill the old queen's daughters. Now her and hers rule. But another comes." And you're like, wait, what the fuck? And as they're doing this, they're cutting to like different otters.
Other groups of otters.
Yeah, like one of them's got a flower on its head. And this isn't animation. They're real fucking otters.
Oh, they actually put a flower on their head?
It like had, I don't know, wearing a little lily or something. And I got a... The cute thing was the dog is like, holy shit, what are those? He's never seen an otter before. Every time he sees a new animal, he's blown the fuck away. So we watch a lot of Animal Planet and like Planet Earth and all that stuff. But yeah, I love that fucking dog so much. I'm already thinking like, what am I gonna do when he fucking? Well, I'm so bummed out when he dies, and he's not even a year old. I haven't gotten him fixed yet. His balls are bigger than mine, like 3 times bigger than mine. He's got a stack on him bigger than my fist, dude. Like,
good for him. Don't take it from him.
And it's bald.
do you nair your dog's sack just like you,
no.
daddy dog time?
Just the anus.
Come back! It's been 8 minutes. I need you in the shower now.
He's like,
you don't understand the peril you're in.
He's got brown and white curly Q fur everywhere on his body, except for these big bald nuts bringing up the rear. And he'll stick them in your face. Like he'll back up and try to like sit down next to me on the couch. And it's like, oh, fuck, he's got me with a ball, dude. Chill. He's my favorite dog that I think that I've ever had. I really like that dude. And he's easy to deal with. He's the other day, I was making these like shish kebab, these skewers. And I had filet mignon and just 2 different kinds of bell peppers, some tomatoes, and some onions on these skewers. And I've cut this fucking steak just perfectly. Like there's no fat on this shit. Each piece of onion is identical because I threw away anything that wasn't perfect. And I've got it all made. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to take a piss before I start grilling all this. And as I'm coming back through the house, I see Toby running through with the whole skewer in his fucking mouth. And I scream at him. I usually don't scold him. I've never really hit him. I'm like, Toby, what have you fucking done? My fucking skewer, my fucking $30 a pound. And he pisses himself. Now I feel terrible.
Yeah, you bully.
He fucking pissed himself on the floor like a baby.
Oh,
so now I just
he's still a baby.
Then I had to cook the skewer and give it to him because he's ruined it. I don't want his spitty skewer. Yeah, I like that dog a lot. I'm glad I got that guy.
He's a good one. You got your own little troop over there. Your own little troop of pups.
Yeah. That the old dog, the Malamute, the husky or whatever, is just such a weird dude. Like he waits until he's just about to burst to go outside, and then he takes these angry shits, and then afterwards he just sprints inside. He like as soon as he poops, he's like everything he's got to burst through the door. And he's like dragging cables through the house and plowing through the trash can. And he's not going anywhere. I have no idea what the fuck his deal is. He's just excitable. He takes shit. He loses his goddamn mind. He's a fucking missile. Finally, I think they're taking the dogs away from my neighbor. I saw a black cop in his backyard today. And I think he was like taking pictures of the dogs back there, I guess to prove that, they're not being treated well.
Are they still like just sad looking?
Yeah, I mean, they've got everything they need, really. They just don't have an owner exactly. They're just kind of abandoned over there. I don't know exactly where all their food and water is.
So they're just trapped in like a backyard in a random house?
Yeah, like fenced in. It's a pretty big backyard, to be honest. And part of it's got a big tarp over it right now. They're in a much better situation than they were 2 or 3 weeks ago when it was 90 out and they were just in the sun with no food or water. Like that's how we kind of figured out that he had abandoned them there. That's so shitty. That is so shitty. I'd like to go to those Top Golf places. I actually haven't driven in a long time, like hit golf balls, but I always liked it. It was really fun. What it needs though, and maybe Top Flight has this, I want to hit shit. I want a guy out there in armor antagonizing me. Why don't they have that?
You can hit the ball at the guy in the cart who's driving around picking up the balls.
That's horseshit. That's like incidental fun. They should zero in on that and be like, ho. Turns out everybody's favorite part is when the ball guy comes out. So why isn't he always out there? Matter of fact, why don't we just put a kid like in some armor and have him curse at the players or the customers? I'd love that. I mean, love that shit.
Like, I don't know. I'm not good at golf. I've played some. Driving ranges are a blast. They are so much fun. Like, there's no better way to play golf than just like hanging out with buddies at a driving range, trying to like hit towards, because there's like pins out there, obviously, and some of them, I haven't played at Top Golf, but I have friends who played there, and they say like it's almost digitized at some of them. So like there's a pin out there, and if you hit your ball like within that pin, like you can score points, and so you can be like competing against people.
That's interesting.
As you're going, and it doesn't get frustrating at a driving range because like you don't have to go get the ball. If you really fuck up a shot, it's like whatever. Whereas if you're really golfing, it gets aggravating so quickly to have this idea of what you want to do with the ball and just not be able to do it. Like golf is hard as shit. Like,
yeah, I'm glad I never got into it at all. We just goofed around redneck style at the farm because we had a handful of clubs and I stole a bucket of balls from the driving range. It's like $5 a bucket. I'm like, thanks. This is way cheaper than the store.
$5 a bucket. You just walk away.
I just went home. Just dumped the bucket in the fucking truck.
That's hysterical. I'm gonna need 2. And then you just leave, steal their buckets, get fucked. I'll never be back. You'll never see me again.
They never did.
Just got a bucket of these cheap dog shit balls with like those like black hash marks on the side to denote that they're the shitty range balls.
Yeah, the fucking golf course in like Royston, Georgia. Fucking yoinked them bitches. Mine for
Get
sure.
on.
Yeah, we would hit them and then I also would use them in my cannon, like grape shot. So we'd put like the big cannonball in there and then pour like a whole bag of balls on top of that, and it was just like this rain of golf balls with a bowling ball backing it up. That's what I shot at my dad that time accidentally. So he thought it was like World War One. He was getting shelled by the fucking Jerry's.
A bunch of titleists.
He yelled. He's so far away. I didn't know he was there. He was hundreds of yards away. But I heard him once, like, the boom. I was showing some chick my cannon and set the thing off and boom. And I heard, "Hold your fire!" And I was like, "Oh shit!" Apparently, I narrowly missed him. He said the cannonball itself missed him by like 20 feet.
Oh my God.
That
would have ruined your whole day. Just fire a cannon into the woods and you're like, that's weird. I don't remember a wet thing out there that it would thud against.
Yeah. Him and
sure there's a lot of viscera in the trees.
Him and Josh. Yeah. Him and another guy were out there. Nearly got him. He yelled the other guy. He told the other guy to run because you can hear it coming. It spins in the air and the holes in the ball.
Oh, it's like whistling.
Woo, woo. Yeah, the faster it's going, the quicker the woo woo woo. So when it's going slow, like if you want straight up in the air on its return journey, it's going woo woo woo. But if you blast one at somebody, it's got this Doppler effect going on too. So the sound kind of piles up on it. So it's going woo 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 woo, and you're like, oh my God, it's coming. But it was like knocking tree limbs down, and the golf balls come raining down as well. So yeah, that was one of those unfortunate incidents. Yeah, I was more careful in the future.
Thank God.
Do you have those cigarettes? That image for the cigarettes, Zach? Can you pull that up?
Are these the Canadian like death sticks?
Yeah. So I guess they finally got the law changed a bit, and now every smoke in Canada is going to say poison in every puff on the filter. I think that's the filter. It's hard to tell because it's all white.
It looks like the filter. Yeah, it's pretty hardcore.
But I think they're going to have different warnings. I would assume different warnings on the filter itself of each individual cigarette. Like I remember the first time I saw Canadian cigarettes, like back when we did one of those paintball trips.
Yeah.
And what's his name had some. I'll be honest, I thought it was cool. I was like, damn, wish you brought me a pack. Like because you're not scaring me with that. You're not scaring me with that because I don't know. The news media has lied to me for decades about what's healthy and what's not healthy. Oh my God, fucking cell phones were going to give me brain cancer and the ozone layer was going to melt us all and the ice caps. And look, I just don't think cigarettes are that bad for you. Look, they're bad for you. You smoke them your whole fucking life. Nobody ever smoked cigarettes for 10 years and got sick. I don't believe it.
If
I don't
you wanted
believe
to
it.
stop people from smoking, Kyle, would it be more effective to make them more phallic? You know, like
To
put
make
a little
them-
head
no.
on there.
No, we wouldn't care. We're getting there's oral fixation going on anyway. And look, especially in Canada, they're woke as fuck. They'd love to suck that little dick.
I think I might be more interested in smokers if that was it. There's
that
a
was it.
subreddit towards it. Just
Like,
women sucking on
my girlfriend
penis
has a
looking-
penis like this too, eh?
No, I feel progressive. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they do.
Go have
I mean,
some
I think
thinking.
it's enough is
Check
enough.
Smokes.
How much do smokers need to be bullied? They know it's bad for them. Don't need to put nasty photos on there that the rest of us have to look at the gas station.
I am a
I
huge
like
fan of getting smokers away from me. I don't like it when my clothes smell like smoke. I don't like breathing your smoke. It's not a personal decision. It's like you're making a decision on my behalf when you stink up the restaurant. And
Yeah,
it's
I don't
not
like
just
that. I don't want to be part of your stink. I agree.
But on the other hand, if you want to, you can do meth. I don't really care. It's
Oh,
that
that
shit
probably
smells
smells
bad.
terrible.
Yeah.
You ever smell meth?
Is it like cat urine? No, I've never smelled meth.
Like ammonia.
Oh, I don't know what it smells like.
Yeah.
I read
Kyle smells
online.
it every weekend.
So the smell was a big plot point in Breaking Bad, and online they said it smells like cat urine.
I've heard like
Mm.
vinegary. I've heard cat piss, and I've heard just plasticky, melting, chemically smells. Who knows? That's just not for me, man. I would do heroin before meth. I think.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Especially you just like snort a little bit of it.
I feel like you get a lot done if you were a responsible meth head.
What's the one you do on a spoon? You burn on a spoon.
Heroin.
See that process leaves a really, I don't know. The dirty spoon feels low class to me. Along with, does that involve tinfoil too?
There are different ways to imbibe, but you could freebase. That's when we got the torch, the aluminum foil, got a little tube in her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
You just smoke opium. Yeah.
You get one of them old timey opium pipes, like a fucking cowboy. Which is God, I would love to get high on that.
You go to
shit.
China and just laze around in one of those dens.
I would do nothing but that until I died in China.
in China in an opium
I bet that's
den.
the best drug. I bet it tastes good too, and you get some like really cheap Asian prostitutes. Anyway, and then you also see people inject the heroin, right? Like straight into their vein. That's when the spoon and the lighter stuff comes into play.
That
But you can
injection
also
is just for someone who's
snort
so
some.
yeah.
A little
But I think
too-
injection is like the end of the line where like that's the most intense way you can do it.
Of
Right?
course.
Injecting. So like
Makes sense.
yeah, I mean, what is more intense than that? Injecting drugs directly into your
Like,
that's it.
bloodstream.
Top way. That's how
I
my
injected it into my
anesthesiologist does it.
brain.
So I talked to Chocolate Thunder a lot because he's like my only basketball friend, and he's too cool for me. And
Yeah.
he uses lots of like young people words. like so we had a bet. We had a $5.
He's not just cool, he's black. So he's like
Yeah,
extra
yeah.
cool.
Chocolate Thunder. So like he was like, hey, you know, that $5 bet we made, is it off now that like your best player is hurt? And I was like, no, I'm still in it. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm not trying to back out of this just because my player got hurt. And then he says, say less. Now, intellectually, I know say less means like we're in agreement. We've come to terms. This is cool.
Yeah.
But a 50-year-old me is like, say less. Like, that's rude. I guess he doesn't want to hear what I have to say. I'll just be quiet now. And just like,
you got we're on
That's
the
very
same
funny.
page. You had me. What he's saying is you had me at hello. Like, you
yeah,
had me
but there's like
start.
100 of those that come up where
You know,
like
all right.
I'm like,
Had me
I-
at hello.
I'll read it to my wife. Like, what could this mean?
Yeah, he told me he was keeping it Milwaukee. Do you know what that means?
no,
Yes.
no. Is it an
All right.
Anheuser-Busch thing? Is he making it gay?
Man, there's like 5 levels to that shit. So here's what it is. He's probably so keeping it Milwaukee. All right, that means so in Milwaukee, that's where the Bucks play, and a buck is 100 cents, and when you're keeping it 100, you're being real. So you go like 4 inception layers deep of nonsense.
Of
And
just
and you let them know you're keeping it Milwaukee. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Just I don't want to be this old and white to the point where I'm just like, come on, God damn it, you speak this language properly. Like, I feel like a Clint Eastwood with my pants up to my navel, yelling at a chair because I don't have enough riz and I'm not strapped with the beam apparently, and I'm never going to be goated with the sauce.
No, no, we're all too old for that.
and I never have, and I never will break it down sexual style. Like, hey,
you're not gonna bust it down sexual style.
I'm going through our chat. There was another time he told me to say less.
No cap.
He hit me up personally and said, "Hey, can you give me a link to that like low calorie syrup you guys were talking about on the show?"
Walden Farms.
Go through my purchase history. I find it, and I was like, "This is how I buy it." There's 12 there. Here's a link. You can probably find it in smaller quantities. And he's like, "Say less." I'm like, I guess I droned on too long. Like, my bad.
That's hilarious. You're just having friendly conversations.
Well, you like delete your last sentence or something? What did you do? I'm just sorry.
Sorry. I tend to be a little overbearing.
I stopped talking for the rest of the day. You know, like, we didn't talk again until the following day. I took it literally.
Dude,
the black people buy in bulk. Is it racist for me to tell them to buy in bulk? Is that some sort of... I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Just trying to be
you
friendly.
Buy them 12
like,
at a time.
I'd never. And it just gets up from your computer lead.
You probably know this, but Greg Doucette prefers, probably because they don't have the shit we like in Canada, but he prefers the Aunt Jemima or whatever, like no sugary. It's got a few more calories in it, and it doesn't taste as good, but it's got a better consistency, I think. Mm-hmm. But I saw where he bought a pallet of it. He bought like he's got it in the video, and he said how much it was. And I remember there was thousands of something. It was either thousands of dollars, which is likely, or it was thousands of like serving. It was something crazy, but it was a pallet. It was many hundreds of bottles for sure. It was absurd how much he had bought because he drizzles it on everything.
That shit's great. I have the same kind he has, and it's tremendous. And the thing about it is it's not real food, so it lasts forever.
Do you make that like French toast with the egg beaters?
No, yes. I haven't actually made that before. I put the healthier syrup on unhealthy things.
Here's what you do. It's
working all right.
Here's what you do. You go and you get the low calorie bread. You can get this like honey beam fucking 45 calorie per slice bread. You can feel that it's like not as moist as normal bread. Like they've done something evil to this shit. Leave it out on the counter so it gets stale, and then crumble up into pieces. Put it in like a loaf pan, and then in a bowl you mix. You can eyeball this shit. I don't measure it. But you pour in some egg beaters, a little splash of milk, cinnamon, vanilla, and like 3 big heaping spoonfuls of Splenda. I hit that shit with like an electric whisk. And drizzle it all over the breadcrumbs that are the bread chunks that are in the pan. And sometimes I'll put some like raisins on top or some almonds or something. But then I just bake that at 325, 350 degrees for like 25 minutes or until it looks right. I'll pull it out and tilt it sideways. And if like goo runs out, it's not done yet. I'll just keep going. But eventually it turns into this huge pile of food. I mean, it's almost more than you can eat. And it's like a giant cake,
and it's like just nothing but protein, and
it ends up being like 180 calories of bread plus like 200 calories of egg, and it's a huge amount of food. And of course, you soak it with that fucking syrup and eat it with a fork out of the loaf pan. I don't slice that shit up. I eat the whole pan.
Huh? I need to try that.
Really good. And you can mix pumpkin in there to give it a better consistency, like a spoonful of pumpkin puree, which is good for you anyway.
Pumpkins are good for you.
Yeah, it's fiber.
It's just fiber though. Are pumpkins one of like
there's some vitamins in there.
I always assumed pumpkins were kind of bullshit. Yeah, sweet potatoes, that's good for you. I've heard from like really big muscular guys, right?
They're the same as other potatoes.
They're like identical to other potatoes. Yeah, like the difference is negligible. I think the sweet potato has a slight amount of like, I don't remember which vitamin.
Or something.
It's something you're never going to notice.
I want to lay it out.
Oh, me too. I like taters. Yeah.
Okay. I have baked potatoes with dinner typically. And because dinner is the meal that has to get you till morning, which is a big ask. And I need it to be satiating. Now, it's not that a baked potato. This is a baked potato with nothing on it. I dip it in ketchup because Kyle told me to, and it works. And but it like for the calorie, it handles hunger better than most things. You know, meat is good for you, but God, I could eat like 1,000 calories of meat to get the same sort of hunger solving that a baked potato gives me.
I like oatmeal for that.
I get full off meat. I feel way better than anything else. Like you just maybe I eat too much meat.
If I like was in a situation where I had like 300 more calories to go and it was like 4 p.m., I would make some oatmeal with like 2 packets of oatmeal. It's like 300 calories, or it's less than that. And then I usually mix in like a scoop of protein powder or some egg or some of those egg beaters, and it makes it like when you microwave it, it gets this enormous amount of disgusting volume. It looks awful. It looks awful. I don't even know. It's like a oatmeal quiche, and
I hate quiche. It's the
big,
worst
floofy
thing you can do with eggs.
Oatmeal custard. It's an oatmeal custard.
It is the worst thing you can do with eggs. It takes all the tastiness of an egg. It's a crime against chicken and eggs.
Spoon.
I'd rather watch 10 million little baby boy chicks be ground to a pulp than eat a one bite of a quiche.
I like the rice better than the potatoes for just the simplicity and the ease of measurement. You know, with potatoes, you're like 3 more grams. With rice, it pours. I don't know. You can scoop. I can have a big bag of cooked rice. There's instant rice cups that I get that are like the perfect serving. You like tear the top off and microwave it for 30 seconds, and you just have rice that you can quickly pour into a thing and get going. And so many like if I'm going hard in the paint, like eating food as fuel and not as food anymore, which is what eventually happens.
That's tough.
You mean towards the end of a cut or for strength? Like there's 2 ways that food is fuel.
I mean, if I'm on a strict diet, like a few months into it, you just sort of get numb. It's like being in the cold. You get numb to the fact that you haven't had real food anymore, and you start appreciating that you get to eat sometimes. And I mean, the way I do it, I'm sort of ramping calories up. So I spend a lot of my time nauseous from like eating too much.
Oh, this is during the packing on muscle phase.
Yeah, when you're eating more calories than you want of clean food, like 2,500 calories a day of just rice and lean ground beef and spinach and peppers and stuff like that is an enormous amount of volume.
Yeah,
I would be nauseous after. Oh, the second meal of the day is often hard to get down. It's just and
it's probably just so fucking boring eating the same tasting thing over and over.
I would eat over the trash can.
It feels like a trust fall. Like, all right, supposedly my body gets better if I eat a lot. I'm like, fuck that. I don't think that'll work.
Oh yeah, like when I first started with Derek, I just it was gaining weight right away. It was like, oh, now you're gonna gain fat. It's like, I thought I'd lose fat and gain muscle. Nope, you're gonna gain fat and muscles. Shit, there's no way around that. Well, I mean, not if you want to gain as much muscle as possible. Like, all right. So it's just like more and more calories and like doing cardio is counterproductive at that point because I need that calorie surplus.
How long were you on that diet? Almost a year, right?
A year.
A full year.
It seemed like longer. Yeah. It seemed like there was a phase where it was like, I'm making up months, so don't lock it in. But like, you know what? I think in January, we're going to do like the photo shoot and that's going to be like the peak. Then you're like, you know what? We can peak higher. So February comes in and
oh yeah.
Like it seemed like it went on for a long time.
The pandemic had changed a few things, but it ended up being that it was just time. It was time to go. Like I had bulked for as long as I should be. It'd been 9 months of bulking, and it was going to be in 3 months of cutting. To get around to a year. But yeah, 9 months of just adding calories pretty consistently every week until I was up to that scary point of like 3,600 a day or something, like 35 or 36. I couldn't get 36 every day. Like there were definitely days where I was just like, no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Throw in a cake shake, you'll get there.
It was already there. Well, not cake shakes. It was like I was eating 20, like around the clock. I would wake up in the night and eat a goddamn protein bar, just all night long eating. Every 3 hours, I was.
I do
eating
that all the
constantly.
time.
I think it's Dairy Queen. It's a 2,600 calorie drink.
I
It's not
saw
much
that the
bigger
Oreo Blizzard thing.
Yeah.
Dude, they need to put photos like those cigarette photos. How about we
Pictures
put
of
like
Lizzo on the Blizzard
yeah,
cup.
picture of Lizzo, a picture of like a rotted
good.
off diabetic foot on the side of a Frosty. Like if we're gonna make fun of the smokers, how about we go for the number one? Who's the grand poobah of bad health in America? Is it smoking or is it fat? It's fat. So what we're gonna make smokers and everybody else look at these awful pictures and
lung cancer is very survivable. You get yourself a Korean set of lungs, half price. All right, you're all good.
Do you get
try to fix.
for half price?
You got a little dossier on every country that decides they wanna sell their shit not on the dollar.
We've been at war with Iran for a long time.
Literally,
Blow
yes.
their shit up.
Saddam, my friend, I'm gonna sell my oil not on the dollar.
He's a madman.
Crazy.
Remember when Trump killed that Iranian general?
Yes.
Mhm.
So Bush and Obama could have killed that guy at any time, but they were afraid to because of potential Iranian reprisal. That guy flew into Baghdad with like all his boys, and they land at the airport. We've got 3 predators over the airport. We told the Iraqis that they were unarmed surveillance drones for airport security. We watch him land his plane. He hops off, him and his boys in 2 SUVs. They drive off on the side road, fire 3 missiles, 2 at his vehicle, 1 at the one behind it. They fucking vaporize. There's just nothing left. All like 12 or 15 of them fucking gone. He's been the general there. he was the guy in Iran who was running all their little projects outside Iran, all those little fingers and pies, whether it's in Palestine or in South America. He's a real rabble rouser. Killed him. He'd been doing that for 20 years, all of his boys. And then Iran did the most like bitch made sort of like, oh, you can't do that to us.
Why I oughta, yeah.
They clearly called like Egypt or somebody, some kind of go-between, and they're like, we're going to shoot at that American base over there in some Middle Eastern country. I don't remember which, Yemen or wherever the fuck. It doesn't matter. We're going to shoot that base at like 3 p.m. They were like, make it 5. Yes, sir. and then like we moved all of our shit out, like not just our people, but the aircraft and everything. And everybody else went down in a bunker. They shelled the shit out of it, and that was it. That was it.
That was a huge W for Trump, I thought. When he first shot the guy, I was like, I'm concerned. Maybe you don't
like
knock off world leader. Maybe they take out one of ours. Could this escalate? Whatever.
Yeah.
And then, like Kyle said, it was a huge W, the smallest of L's, if you even call it that. Yeah. And then it settled.
Mm-hmm.
Some people got concussions at the base. Down in the bunker.
No.
Well, that's CTE. It's not a joke.
I mean, it's not, but hey, it's still
light sensitivity.
David
Perron has to wear a tinted visor.
You're wrong. I make CTE jokes all the time.
It was funny that they were like, the Iraqis demanded that the drones leave, and they were like, so 2 did, and then 1 stayed behind to take pictures of the smoldering wreckage because Mr. Trump wanted to make sure.
Insult to injury. He's like, no more pictures. Make it cool. Like, I don't think we need a rocket this big. We do.
You're right. I just demanded the drones leave.
I don't want one finger available for burial. Not one finger for burial, people.
So we have a rocket that's meant to minimize collateral damage. There's no explosives on board. It's just a very fast, heavy rocket, and it has gigantic blades that come out in 4 different directions, like a broadhead you would shoot a deer with, and it just cuts the people in the car and into shreds. You can probably find a picture of it, Zach.
Dude, that's
so fucking
mean-spirited.
cool. Dude, it's like shooting them with giant swords.
Dude, I would so much rather be blown up than be severed.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
1,000%. Just blow my ass up, Soleimani style. If that's if the government's taking me out, don't send a bunch of shurikens at me through a plane.
At first, I didn't understand why they wanted F-16s. It was like, man, like. Seems like you need a fleet of them things, and to do anything, and you need pilots. It's about the weapons that attach, right? It's a platform for shooting all the fancy missiles that we have. Look at this piece of shit. Look at the comparison to a man.
This is absurd. We are spending too much money. Dude, if you put me in charge of a warhead, I'd be like,
Here's the best
just
part.
a tube with knives on it. Like,
Here's the best part.
and that's what they're doing.
Here's the best part. The new missiles, especially the anti-ship missiles, but probably this thing, because
Has
why
8
not,
blades.
have advanced artificial
$1 billion.
intelligence. They have advanced artificial intelligence. So it doesn't matter if they jam them in some way. Oh, they got that's now that's a different story. 6 blades all the way around. Man. Kill
Now
the
this
target
is
person while
this is what we
absence
need to
one of-
take on our enemies around the globe. Is 6 Wesley Snipes attached to a?
I feel like
a rock-
they put Gillette in charge of the R&D. Just like, we need to put
No,
more
you need
blades
6
on this.
huge blades.
the 6 huge.
I don't
blades.
know.
Man, we paid 10 million each for these blades. These are dog shit. Like they're just low quality razors.
That's so awesome. But yeah, we've got so many crazy missiles and the things that can attach to that F-16 to launch. I told you the other day about how they used an F-15 to shoot a satellite that one time, and I thought at first it was because maybe the F-15 goes high. No, they shot a missile that goes 300 goddamn miles into space.
Dude, we're gonna unveil really impressive lasers at some point out of nowhere.
You've
And
seen
people are
them.
going to be like, "Whoa!" No, it's no like you know what I mean by lasers.
The problem is they're huge.
Lightsabers.
Like a
Lightsabers.
shooting laser, like a blaster.
Can't be a
basically.
solid line.
So they got
Needs
these
to be a
lasers.
pulse.
They've got I've seen they've got one that they put in the back of like a giant cargo plane. There's like a huge apparatus to like power the fucker, and another one on a boat. And when it shoots, don't imagine a light turning on and slowly burning a thing. The thing exploded. Like they shot this like plate of metal that was floating on a buoy in the water, and it just went boom and like exploded into sparks when they like shot it.
We'll have like a rifle that can do that in 10 years,
We do. Let's call it gun.
but with lasers.
With lasers?
Yeah. What's the downside?
The
More
lasers?
powerful, hotter, visible,
What if they got a mirror?
intimidating. Dude, it's gonna blow. It's gonna be a really powerful laser.
Oh, new Chinese ships, very shiny.
Very shiny ship.
They show up with their mirror ships and we're fucked.
You're right. Okay, well maybe bullets are the right move.
Everyone put your safety glasses on, God damn it. I'm not going through this again. Every fucking dolphin and a whale in the sea is goddamn blind. Let's just stick to blowing people up, God damn it. Isn't that good enough?
Yeah, that's what the U.S.
the time.
That's our core competency. Yeah, it's cool.
Well, that's a shame. I could do another 4 hours. Enjoyed it. Enjoyed it.
Hungry.
Did I miss ads? I think I did.
You did.
Yeah, you were away.
Knocked him out.
My mistake. All right.
Buy
PK,
our jism
50. Come like a
supplies
man.
and all of our narcotic wonders and